Welcome everyone to the broadcast. Hello everybody. I'm the sharply dressed man. And this is the stream. Hello Domina, welcome. Big hype. We're playing the Pathologic 3 Quarantine Prologue today. I don't know how long this is going to take, but we'll play some Monster Hunter Wilds after that if we finish up early. Domina, thank you for the compliments. Much appreciated. Thank you for that. Welcome everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend and a great start to your week. Here we are. It's the 17th of March, where I am, which means that we are playing Pathologic 3 Quarantine, the prologue. It's free on Steam, by the way. It's free, so you can check it out yourself if you really want to. RTX 4060 ties. 4060 ties. There you go. 4060. It's pretty good. Did a good job using those commands, chat, gotta say. Really appreciate you all keeping up with the demand. You have a 4060 Ti? 4060 Ti's. Ties. Excellent. Very nice. I hope you're all ready for more Pathologic. We finished Pathologic 2 a couple weeks ago. Just before we started playing In Sound Mind. And now... So Pathologic 3 is coming out sometime later this year. This is the prologue, free-to-play. You can check it out if you want. Pathologic 2 followed the story of Barak, the Bachelor. No, not the Bachelor. He's the Harspecs. He followed the story of the Harspecs through the town and the whole sand pest plague and all that business. And this is the story of the Bachelor, Daniil Dankovsky, who's also a character in Pathologic 2, but has his own story to follow as you go through it. There's a third character as well, which I'm sure will be Pathologic 4, but we wouldn't expect that for another 5 years or so. There's more of it, yeah, it's never ending. I haven't even touched the original game yet. Pathologic 1, which has all three stories all together in the same game. Hello, Brent. So are we ready to play some more Misery Simulator? Pathologic? So that'll be good. I can't wait to see what they do with this one. I've seen some of the trailers. The trailer looks interesting because the Harspecs' playthrough is like very violent. There's lots of like fighting and chaos and confrontation, and the Bachelor's playthrough with Dankovsky is much more cerebral, right? He's trying to destroy death, basically. That's his whole goal by being in this town, is he's trying to destroy death. And he's also trying to save lives in the middle of all this misery that's happening around him. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Dankovsky will be successful this time. Maybe not, we'll see. And then, of course, like I said, I don't know how long this is going to be. This is just like a free-to-play prologue. It might be like 15 minutes. And then we'll get into Monster Hunter Wilds after that. So, buckle up, chat. It's going to be a busy night. Brent, are you saying you didn't enjoy the Pathologic 2? We didn't want more of that? Who doesn't want more of this? Dominic, congrats on your 3-stream streak. What are you going to do with all your points? Alright, here we go. Pathologic 3 Quarantine, the prologue, new game. Let's dive right into it.
Thank you. Welcome back, Naruto running ninja, almost close to retirement, man. More monster hunting later, woo. Sharple 1 jogs, Sharple 1 jogs, Sharple 1 jogs.
Ada, thank you for the 41-month resubscription. Welcome back. Ada, I really appreciate the 41 months of support. I'm not scared of you, go to hell, death. Not even after these 2 weeks, not scared. They are human too. Can't remember the name nor the face. Whose reflection are you? There's nothing here. Someone died here. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Hello, terrible Clark.
Need to do the reverse transcriptase test again. Pretty sure we missed the heat mark in the 4th series.
The what? Why aren't you at the interrogation yet, Bachelor? You're supposed to be there already. What happened? Why did you come down here?
Then again, if not taken at face value, but rather, you know.
Hang on, Chief. Did they summon you because of Thanatica? Will the order to shut down the laboratory be revoked? Postponed? They're not revoking it. Thanatica is no more. And why aren't you in quarantine? Especially if you're coming straight from the epicenter of such a disease. My quarantine is already over. So you're the doctor who first discovered this deadly epidemic. This, dirt disease. Is it true that it killed off a whole step town in a week? 25,000 dead? Listen to me, all of this is just hearsay. Please leave our director alone. He has important work to do, and you, Chief, should hurry off now. Your appointment is at 8. No, answer me this. Since you're the one in charge, is it true or not? You said this disease was already in the capital? I never said that. I said they believe the epidemic might already have spread here. That is what I said, and the bureaucrats are usually wrong. What is that sound? Oh. What? Why? What is that, and why is it coming over here? I'm just gonna sit here and watch it. Game over. Hope you enjoyed the prologue. Day 8, in which the Bachelor says farewell to hopes and tries to flee the doomed step town. You can go no further. Quarantine. It's quarantine, get it? I'm so tired of running into obstacles that I created myself. I didn't recognize you at first glance. You've changed quite a bit after a week in our town. I'm Sava Kremenitz, number 72, the last of the Volunteer Orderly Corps. Since you're here, consider this my resignation. I do not accept your resignation. There's still hope. You promised to save our town, but all you leave behind are ashes and graves. What lies ahead of you is not the step, but a fog of uncertainty. So where will you go now, oh man who lost to death? What a way to talk to me, 72. Grow too fond of your mask? Abide by the protocol, and stop with the implications. This guy's just Khonshu. The Moon God! People whisper rumors that the only doctor in town plans to flee, to abandon them. The most fortunate, the survivors, already planned their own escapes. Could they be saved? The sand pest should be kept within this town's limits, or else it will devour the nation whole. Some of the survivors might be infected. Quarantine means quarantine. Each decision leads to regret the next day. Each step, the abyss. How can one sleep after that? My nightmares are a personal matter. Nightmares multiply in darkness. It's their nutrient medium, just like blood for a plague. See those bonfires? Those were prepared on my orders to fence off the plague districts. Now they will light my path. The light of salvation burns, and then fades. Like hope, like someone's life on a hospital bed. Do you think you'll manage to escape? She already follows you, trying to reach you. She won't just let you leave. Death? You're a fool, Bachelor Denkovsky. Conscience! Of course it's conscience. You cannot run from your conscience, not even on a train. No, you'd be lucky to even board that train alive. What form your conscience assumes, that is on you and your broken imagination. No time to wax philosophical. The fog thickens, the bonfires fade, and I still seek a train. Apparently, one with escapees. He is, yes. The therapist. Come back to where you came from, Doctor. Try to become your old self again. Just don't forget the matches. Thank you, 72, if it's really you. For your volunteer service. You too did all you could. Wrecked. Oh god. Goes out. That bonfire looks like it's got more stock to it than this this game lets on. I don't know what those things are, and I don't like it. I'm going to be ill, the stench, out. Yeah, this place is full of dead people. Put me down! And the day before, in which the Bachelor leaves the capital to venture to the edge of the world. You'd think something like that would burn for at least 30 minutes, if not further, yeah. Uh-oh. It crashed. The game just crashed. Ooh, boy, I wonder if it saves. I wonder if it has like an autosave. Man, that'd be so cool if it did. There are 14 achievements with this thing. I pressed Q to search, and it crashed the game. It does not save. Alright, well, let's start over. This is the beginning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hey, listen, we're going to be playing some Pathologic 3 Quarantine tonight. Hope you're all having a fantastic day and a good start to your week.
It's not love of living.
People, yes.
And we're gonna speedrun this game. We're speedrunning the first couple minutes of it.
Skin. That's what they are. People.
Boom, boom. Boom. Speedrunning the prologue right up to the point where we crashed. Is there a save? Can I actually... I don't see a save. I don't see a save button. I see a save button on the game. Return to game, settings, main menu, exit. State your name. There's still hope. There's a railroad nearby. I'll take them to the capital. I need witnesses. My nightmares are a personal matter. I still have some matches on me. I'll find a way to fend off the darkness. Death? You imply that I imagine the horrific silhouette, the hallucinations of a guilty conscience? It's likely just neurosis. Enough scare tactics. Because it's the prologue, they just say no? Yeah, probably. To reflect upon a person. Okay. Forward. Okay, Q. Ah, nope. That crashed it again. Excellent. Okay, shall we do it once more? Because it feels like it's pretty broken right there. I don't know what to do. Probably need some day one fixes. Let's check the settings. There might be a setting that's off or something like that that I need to adjust. Set everything back to default. Settings. Graphics. Upscaling. That's pretty standard. Let's turn down some of these graphic settings, I suppose. Boom, boom. Let's turn this down to like high. Give it one more shot. It'd be nice if there was a way to like very quickly revert this back to default. Other. Oh, we left the crash the game button on. Oh, come on. Streamer mode? Wait, what? Why does it have streamer mode? Is it for the music? Anything that's at ultra, lower to high, or very high? Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Put everything at high, draw distance at medium. Probably for certain scenes. Yeah, who knows? All right, one more try. See how this goes. Welcome everybody to the broadcast. We're trying this brand new game, the Prologue, Pathologic 3. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend and a good start to your week.
You asked for it. You got it, Chief. You have too much of a spine.
I have too much spine. What are you looking at outside?
Vita nostra brevis est, brevi finietur, venit... Так, это какое вообще?
Okay, boom, boom. When I see streamer mode, I think things like, they need to hide your ID, right? Like your Steam ID or something like that, or your IP address. State your name. No resigning for you. There's a railroad nearby. Quarantine means quarantine. My nightmares are a personal matter. These bonfires will light my path. Are you talking about death? It's just neurosis. Enough with your scare tactics. Yeah, copyright music as well. I will say it'd be really nice if Discord, if you could turn on the streamer mode on Discord and just like leave it on forever. Because if Discord is open and I turn off OBS, it turns off streamer mode, which turns on all of the Discord sounds that I leave streamer mode on so I don't hear. So it's like, open up Discord, shut down OBS, turn back on streamer mode after I hear the Discord beeps. Alright, here we go. Which the Bachelor leaves the capital to venture to the edge of the world. We're just gonna go talk to these people. We already know they're the only things that we can interact with.
I'll follow you through hell, but not high water. If it gets to high water, that's on you.
Yeah, high water is way worse than hell. Do you hear those peculiar footsteps on the stairs? Ominous footsteps. I think they're coming for us. If they catch you here, there's no telling what might happen. You could even be arrested.
A little birdie hops along the path of doom.
Shall I
It
continue?
sings its song.
The ruling goes on. Orthonetica, the nation's only laboratory specializing in novel life extension techniques, comes across as a pseudoscientific wild goose chase. This so-called effective immortality project. Enough! I'm sick of it already. Wild goose chase, that gaggle of ossified dotards. Oh, but there's more. Has, according to a number of scientists, including Voronin, Zegler, and Volanovich, achieved significant breakthroughs. We can skip this part. There, in view of the Academic Council deeming it to lack any prospects whatsoever, the only rational course of action would be to suspend the research, transfer the laboratory to the purview of the Chemistry Institute, and dismiss its staff. I can recite it from memory by now. Perhaps you could retell it in verse, Platon? It would calm you down and put things in broader perspective. I won't let them. It's my life's work. I don't know to what extent you two might say the same. Actually, there is still hope, Bachelor. If you present them that immortal man from the central step. What was his name? Sheehan? Ivan? Kane. Simon Kane. No time, colleagues, no time. They're already climbing the stairs. Dankovsky, you need to run. There'll be no commission while you're gone. We can stall the proceedings. Go and fetch us an immortal right away. I'll just go grab one of them from the local grocery store. One immortal, please. We'll tell them you're away on that trip. For once the red tape will play into our hands. We'll stall. Reports, audits, you name it, and appeal if all else fails. But if they find you, they'll convene and force us to testify, and we won't be able to wriggle out of it. I agree. If you leave before you're handed the ruling, it's their fault for missing you. But if you wait until afterwards, that's obstruction. They won't miss a chance to hold it against you. They'll use whatever pretext they can. What about you two? Bah. What would they want with us? You're the big-name scientist, so act like it. You're the one they need. And that Shane person is just who you need. Kane. Oh, for God's sake. Platon, shall we toss him out the window? That's it, they're here. Hear those voices? They must be deciding whose head is hard enough to batter down the door with. Get out. Eastbound train departs at 4:15. You can make it right on time. I will not let us down. Oh wait, one last thing. Have a look at this while you're on your way. You've been promising to for 3 months already, but you never found the time. It's a tool for studying tuberculosis. The air humidity thing, remember? Kaufman, Gorski, Anna Stein. How does it work? There's no time. Take their papers and read them on your way. We have more pressing issues right now. Case in point, when is report S-104 coming in? You know, the cytological... Is he trying to be funny or what? Get out, Chief. Use the back door and don't come back without your immortal. I'll bring him with me.
Why do they continue to normalize death?
Whoa. Wait, just one more thing. One more, what might that be? Take care of yourself, Chief. You're so reckless. Head always in the clouds. You don't really know how to fend for yourself, do you? Do you even care about yourself? Oh, what's the worst that could happen? We're all doomed without you. Come on, it'll be alright. No crying in the laboratory. Enough of this. Are you armed? I don't kill. I prolong life. You might have forgotten, but this is what our calling is. Daniil, are you armed? Seraphima, do you really believe the steppe is such wild country? Please, just take it with you. It will come in handy. Best I can do is point it at someone and pretend it's loaded. Might not work on the bears, though. Or at least, point it then. You can be very persuasive sometimes, Chief. Yes, you should know. I'm gonna... That's just... A revolver? Got a gun right off the bat. Let's go.
Freeze!
I'm leaving. Okay, I'm pressing the button and the game is not crashing, so that's pretty good. Yet again, Bachelor Dankovsky is banging his head against a closed door. Can't go through here. Open. You poured me cognac not 2 weeks ago. Carte Saviche. Taxidermy specimen can receive any cure. Voronet is a lovely person, very polite. He has a lovely signature too, neat with a flourish above the first O. Yeah, it's probably just something in that room. Whoa, whoa.
I'm Daniil Denkovsky, Bachelor of Medicine. My research into the limits of human life has brought me renown. I've devoted all my energy and remarkable intellect to combating the greatest fear that binds humanity, the inevitability of imminent death. Seeking proof of my theories, I traveled to a small, steep town to examine a person of phenomenal longevity, Simon Kane. But I walked into a trap. The moment I arrived there, an unknown disease struck the town. It devoured the town like a wildfire. Its contagion and lethality surpassed anything humanity had ever faced. And I became the only doctor standing in the way of this unprecedented pestilence.
Defeated the tutorial chat. Okay, where am I? Talk.
Folders, sticks, whips, and wicks, but no coins. Give them a miss.
This is the inspector. Let's go back to your testimony, Bachelor Dankovsky. So this is an interrogation, a preliminary investigation. Let's try to remain level-headed. The ministerial inspection of your lab, Thanatica, began in early September. Your presence was required at all times. Instead, you dashed off across the country to a backwater town to bring back what might be described as... Yes, an immortal man. Yes, this town had an outbreak of some fever the scientific community had no knowledge of. As luck would have it, you were the only medical professional at the site of the event. You were forced to remain there since leaving was impossible. You led the effort to combat the epidemic and, evidently, took on some field research as well. Accurate so far? Accurate so far. You did not succeed. A complete failure. It goes without saying that one would be foolish to fault a medical specialist in a situation like yours. The remoteness, the lack of communication, the hostile environment, terrible conditions for scientific work. What doctor could have possibly succeeded in those? No one blames you. On the contrary, many stop just short of saying I deliberately brought the infection to the capital. Perhaps I should have walled myself in with a lab report pinned to my corpse. On the contrary, many stop just short of saying I deliberately... Okay, so now we've switched places, now I'm playing the inspector? I said I don't blame you, didn't I, Bachelor, for any of it? Did you hear me? Besides, that ordinance from last year, what? What? Did something surprise you? I suppose we can't rule out a setup. Too many coincidences. That letter about Simon lures me to the town, no one shows me Simon. The whole place locks down, trapping me. And while I'm left to die, Thanatica is destroyed just before a scientific breakthrough. My final hours are spent studying the sand pest. Crafty, I must admit. I see a worn-out man, unsure whether he's still among the living. A man disassembled. I'm trying to help you put yourself back together. What do you want to know? What I could have done? Alright, my first idea was quarantine. I needed time to study the disease, so I isolated patients in their homes. No, I isolated entire districts. I tried to get at least a day ahead of it. It was spreading too swiftly, and of course I ensured that no one could leave the town. Were you always aware of the consequences of your decisions? Ah, you refer to the popular discontent. I didn't need love from them, only discipline. A difficult surgery can't be performed on a resisting patient. That's why patients get tied up, held down, or anesthetized. Every step I took was justified, or the town wouldn't have lasted those 7 days. 7 days? Wait, the last game was 12 days. You spent 12 days in the Gorkon area. Oh, there we go. 12 days in the Gorkon area. I have my file on the desk here. You familiarized yourself with it, correct? It must have been, maybe he's talking about the 7 days once the infection started, because I don't think it doesn't start immediately. Maps, thoughts. Map of thoughts, conclusions, and doubts. Here we go. Mind map. Important events happen every day. Select a day to recall what transpired. Whoa. Hello. Day 1. Seems like a good place to start. Hope. This cane is your only chance to save Thanatica. But the Simon Kane is dead. Stabbings, tearing clothing off corpses. They say someone important died. A local lady was nice enough to let me stay with her. Settled in at the Stillwater. We know who that is. The Polyhedron is closed. These are really small. Something's happening at the empty lot in one of the poor districts. I met a strange procession near the cemetery in the evening. Obnoxious little town. So is this like, this isn't all day 1, is it? This is like day 2 and this is everything all together? Little boy caught my sleeve, anxious about some mongrel. There's a few events in here you can see that are the same. Day 3. People light bonfires. Some filth creeps down the streets, making the skin of those infected crumble like sand in 5 hours. I've never seen anything like it. Crumble like sand in 5 hours. The local elites are trying to take emergency measures. They don't even have a hospital in this backwater. Ridiculous. Kane last spewed some nonsense about visions and the town's approaching death. Didn't listen. Can it be that Simon Kane never existed? Uh-oh. The sand pest is unique. No one has ever dealt with a disease like this. So eventually, we get to him trying to cure the disease, but failing to do so. The Shabnak steps. The plague spreads across the town. I see things in the infected district. Things that are not there. Ooh, he's hallucinating. A local dropout, not even a witch doctor, just a butcher, and they still believe him. The high respects. It's Artemis Barak. Yulia Lyaracheva, a logistics worker, keeps saying that she could have prevented it. I don't think she could have. Day 8. A crazed crowd didn't forgive the town's judge for failing to keep order. Old Gimsky doesn't have an heir anymore? What, did Old Gimsky Jr. die? The owners of the town's main enterprises are convicted. Oh, there's a trial? Sabarovs have no future. Whoa. It's like, this is crazy. What happened? The town is beheaded. No more rulers, no more heirs, and the inheritance will be gone any day now. So the town just kind of like murdered everybody? They sacrificed all the leaders? All 3 ruling families are torn apart, broken, plowed over. The time has cast them aside. So many spoilers. Yeah, this is all stuff that doesn't happen. Like, this is how the first... So Pathologic 2 started similarly. In Pathologic 2, you start at day 11 or 12? Right, you start at day 11 or 12, like, at the end of the game, where the army's already there, they're burning people alive and stuff. And then you go back to the beginning, and then the whole thing plays out again with a completely different set of circumstances. So this is all stuff that, in this instance for Daniil, these are the things that happened. But these are all things that didn't happen. Like, the polyhedron is falling over. The town killed everybody. And eventually Daniil Dankovsky fails to defeat death. Whereas if you play the game, all this stuff will be completely different. So I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it's spoilers for a version of the game that didn't happen. You have a highly detailed accounting of your failures. Yeah. And all the really bad stuff that happens as a result of it. Stillwater's owner, the only ray of sunshine in this odious town, took her own life. On day 10. Crowds and anarchy rule the town. The plague has burnt almost everyone. Science can do nothing about this disease. The plague triumphant. The sandpest has devoured the whole town. Drunken army goons shoot whichever way they please. And the polyhedron falls over and dies. And then we get over here. The immortal Simon Kane is dead. The town is dead. Bachelor Dankovsky is dead. Well, I mean, what are we... It's the Marble Nest DLC all over again. Bachelor Dankovsky has suffered disgraceful defeat.
Who's the murderer? Why, you?
Everyone is dead. Yeah, the plague was triumphant. Death won. Well, why are you looking at me like that? As if you're seeing this for the first time. As if this is the first time. It's not like I've rummaged through your papers. Alright. Let's look at the 5th day. Remember when you seemingly admitted the vaccine was possible? You had volunteers brought to you and you inoculated them with sandpest. Are you still with me, Dankovsky? Look me in the eye. Are you still here? No. Incorrect from the start. Do you intend to provoke me with this preposterous document? What's your goal, Inspector? Calm your nerves. The very reason you're sitting here is so that we may find the truth, isn't it? I like how they put Dankovsky as the person you're talking to most of the time. I won't be intimidated. I'm a doctor, a scientist. Do you hear me? I've come back from a hell the phantasms of a nightmare could never portray. And I worked there as a doctor. Do you understand? A doctor. Not an exterminator or inquisitor, not a police inspector or army commander. I am a medical professional. The number of people you've personally killed already puts you ahead of many in the army and police. Enough with that tone. Don't you grow tired of it yourself? Put this on record. The backwater didn't have a hospital. Understand? It did not have a hospital. But it did have a theater. So I repurposed it, somewhat, into a hospital. I studied patients there. Creating a vaccine was the priority. That's what I did. I vaccinated people. He's not a doctor, he's only got a bachelor's in medicine. He needs 8 more years of school. Yeah, it's interesting to see that there's so many differences between this, what we're seeing here, and the original game. I really want to go back and play like the 2005 version before Pathologic 3 is released to see what the Bachelor playthrough is like there and do a comparison. An hour ago, you said a vaccine is impossible. Creating a vaccine isn't as simple as brewing a cup of tea. The disease mutated fast. The scientific community had never seen anything like it. I had to create a vaccine every day. Do you understand? A new one each time. All the while, I had no equipment, no lab. I had to improvise new methods in a matter of minutes. A theater. Let's talk more about the 5th day after you arrived. Here we go. Going back to school for 8 more years. So we can become Dr. Dankovsky. Whoa! Hello. Day 5. Today. Wait, let's see. Map. So we're at the theater. I have my gun. I don't want to become Death's henchman, but if anyone thinks they can bully me, demand more than they need, or trample on my dignity, they are wrong. And the prototype. It was made when we were trying to fight tuberculosis pathogens. In theory, it purifies the air of microorganisms with sound at a frequency beyond human perception, destroying their cell membranes. If only I could kill them inside the human body, the device would be priceless. That sounds really useful. Mind state and health. The outer scale represents your mind state. Increasing mania is indicated by the scale going clockwise, increasing apathy counterclockwise. Oh dear. Is he bipolar? Avoid both extremes as they will hinder your health and abilities. Use consumables in your inventory to combat that. The inner scale represents your health. So he has to balance being manic and apathetic. The thought map we read basically implied the Inquisitor imprisoned or hanged all of the town's rulers. That's very different than Pathologic 2, right? Or Pathologic 1. Artifacts. Casebook. First, select the patient's suspected symptoms, then choose the appropriate diagnosis. Some symptoms may be incorrect. Notes. Yeah, that's what it said. The Inquisitor is a headsman, I think is what the actual note said. And then they killed all of the town's rulers. Okay. We're gonna loot stuff? Can I loot this? Theater begins with the cloakroom. The hospital ends with it. Outside lies the step town I never should have come to, but I will have to do work inside. Diagnose the sick. Signor, you're here. Upon the stage once more. The man who made a hospital out of the theater will have eyes on him aplenty. Do you know what the orderlies behind your back are whispering? No, what are they saying? They say you have a seesaw in your head. They picture you a man atop a board, atop a barrel, gun in hand, aiming as you roll and teeter to and fro. A seesaw inside my head. Maybe the rumors have a little truth to them. Extremes, Signora, extremes can kill you dead. One moment, mired in apathy, the next in mania, trying to do everything at once. You're caught between your pounding heart and your 2 hesitating feet. A man of impulse, yet sometimes paralyzed. That, there, is your seesaw. Hard not to veer into extremes when a whole town is being consumed by a novel disease. As we stand here in the old theater, let me then play the doctor and prescribe balance. The golden mean, though you may yet be swept to Scylla or to Charybdis. And even now, what do you feel? As soon as you approach the sick, indifference and gloom begin to burden you. I feel as though I'm already exhausted, already anticipating failure. The thought alone drains my strength. The strongest treatment is right here, the same we use to numb the hopeless sick. These drugs may work for you as well, but mind that as you take them, you become accustomed to them, and you'll need more and more each time. Isn't that an extreme measure? But there are other ways as well. A drink and a smoke, perhaps. Things you may not expect can stabilize you. to warm yourself by the fire, or wash yourself in cool water, even kicking a trash bin in frustration. You will know what helps you best. You are a scientist, so experiment. Well, that's pretty interesting. I want to take out all my frustrations by kicking the trash cans. Quite an experiment measuring the psychological effect of kicking cans. I'll be sure to report my findings to the Capitol. And yet it wouldn't hurt to take some pills with you. Who knows what madness lies ahead? Take something from the hospital's supplies. Perhaps the other fronts you struggle on, there is the struggle with yourself, Senor. Okay. Besides the other fronts you struggle on, there's a struggle with yourself. What could be harder? I remember and I dread. Tobacco. Whoa, jeez, okay. Camphor, bromide, strychnine. Mania plus 10. It is believed that cigarettes have a calming effect, but in fact, nicotine is a stimulant. Addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Camphor, stimulant. Rubefacient. Facient? Rubefacient? How does one pronounce that word? Causes irritation. Just like everything in this damn place. Bromide. Increases inhibition in the cerebral cortex. In other words, dulls the brain. Sometimes that's exactly what I need. Strychnine, a poison, which is the same as medicine, invigorating in small doses. Addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Mania plus 70. So are we... What's our... If I use this right now, what happens? Use.
Rewind.
So right now I am completely apathetic. Mania plus 5, Mania plus 10. So if I use the strychnine...
Half a tone louder.
Now we're at balance. What is that at the top? Interesting. Hello, boys. Savic Kremenitz. Oh, this is number 72, yeah. I'm an orderly on quarantine duty. What are your instructions? Right, Savic Kremenitz. Here are your orders. Take a dozen trusted people with you. I'm reassigning you to the cemetery. Burials, cremations, and all that. You're dismissed. If you think seeing something terrifying... If you think you're seeing something terrifying, it's always just people in masks. It'd pass for a Greek chorus if this were a tragedy, but it's all vaudeville. Marat Tikakin, number 28. Started my shift at 10. What's your plan for today, Doctor? What do you mean started? It's not even 10 o'clock yet. The vaccine, obviously. We were unsuccessful yesterday and the day before. Therefore, today's plan remains the same. You've been catching those longs as you instructed. You know, the rare cases where they get infected but resist the sand pest for a long time. You've got 3 again for today, over there on the platform. The stage. What the hell? I told you yesterday that they have to be kept separate. No contact between them. How is that unclear? Of course it was clear. Why wouldn't it be? What do we do with them now, though? Shall I take them away? There's no point now, idiots. Doctor, last night we had a chat amongst ourselves and there's something we don't get. What's like the point of figuring out what those longs are sick with besides the sand pest? They're gonna die anyway. How does it help us if we figure out that they also have anemia, or, I don't know, measles, on top of the earthen plague, I mean? To make this as simple as possible, the body wages wars. Whenever there's a disease, it sends its soldiers into battle. Sometimes those soldiers help fight other diseases along the way, including undiagnosed ones. I'm here to raise a collective complaint. Doctor, these cloaks, they're very uncomfortable, sir. They make it hard to use your hands. And you can't see a damn thing through the mask. On top of that, we have to burn them every night, because each time we've been to an infected area... For starters, introduce yourself properly. Judas Maccabeus, no number. I'm not some item you can use. I see you're well read. That may come in handy. If you stop it with the bad manners, I'll put you on statistics duty. Is that Artemy right there? Yes. We can definitely trust Judas. Oh yeah. Patients must be questioned, examined, and their symptoms recorded in the casebook. Yakov Little. Could it be yesterday's technique has proved to be the right one? As your assistant, it's my duty to inform you that among the recipients of yesterday's vaccine, there appears to be 0 mortality. That is to say, no notifications so far. Well, that seems like a good sign. No notifications so far. That doesn't really tell us anything yet. Let's assume at least some have avoided the infection. While you were away, I tried my hand at diagnosing using your procedure. Did you? I'm intrigued. So I noted down symptoms using your approach. I crossed off illnesses based on the principle of impossible combinations, but I didn't really get anywhere. You know, sometimes I try to think like you do. I give it my best try at that. I do this just so I can understand you just a little, and I fail every time. The way your heads work is a complete mystery to me. Do you have the anamnesis? What does that word mean? Could you remind me? I don't think I recall it. I'll say it again. Getting the patient's medical history, or anamnesis, is your first priority. Anamnesis? There are strictly 3 steps. Step 1, interviewing the patient. It always comes first. No matter how tongue-tied or confused they are, no matter how much they get wrong, the information is priceless. Even if they're straight up lying, it's still important. Just like if you were an investigator or a detective. But I'm no Pinkerton, unlike you. Wait, Dankowski's a Pinkerton? Step 2, the exam. This part requires your utmost attention, and when we take note of anything suspicious, we do it in the context of what the patient has told us. Any trifling bodily detail, a scratch, a bruise, a birthmark, might turn out to be important. Still, this requires experience. Everyone is built different. And step 3, if required, a careful inspection of the surroundings the patient lived in, especially when you feel they're being coy, evasive, hiding something. In a word, lying. Reticence is never without a reason. That's when it becomes a good idea to go and inspect their home. Talk to their neighbors and family. It always adds to the picture. Do you understand? That sounds like a job for a sleuth, not a doctor. I'll show you. Observe and memorize. I won't be around forever. Personal files. We got some files. We got Luta, age 33, married, shopkeeper, date of admission the 5th day of the plague, residence in the flank, is a smoker, has a fever. I'm a doctor, not a sleuth. Look at all these things we can diagnose them with. What? Twirine syndrome, tularemia, stone skin, step gastrodermal fever, step dryness, serpent syndrome. There's got to be like 30 things we have the option of identifying as. Finch, age 41, single, occupation dyer. 5th day of the plague. Residence, the crude sprawl. Drinks in moderation. Falat, age 47. Single, termitary guard. Lives in the Skinners. Clinical picture is weakness. Loot the clock? Take all. Take all that. Thank you. It's him. The star of Pathologic 2. Artemi Barak. It looks broken, Ardem. The miniscope's broken. What did you want with it, Barak? Made any major advances on that vaccine of yours, Oinon? They say precision instruments help with that kind of thing. Alright, touche. You sure are quick with your snappy retorts. I've done 3 autopsies for you already. Numbers 1 and 3 had the gunk in their lungs. Number 2 had it in her bronchia. You're saying it's pulmonary now. I'm not saying it's anything. I do the cutting, you do the thinking, right? I have my own storyline where I am going to do what I deem right, and you'll only have a small part to play. I mean, he's not wrong. That's the whole other game. What a bombastic way to put it, but I'll remember that, and drop by your storyline sometime, though I doubt it will be useful.
Boiling, crackling, screeching.
Get to work, you're an embarrassment. What? Talk. I'm healthy, just so you know. I don't have anything. Why did they bring you here, then? I had fever, that's why. 2 days of it for no reason. But I'm better now. I'm getting better. And I had no scratchies on my skin. No yellowing, no sandpaper scratchies, no drought of the mouth. What circumstances preceded this fever? Our house was cleared out after the infection came. People were sent wherever there was space. Comfort is a luxury right now. Some were lucky and ended up in an empty living room. Some got an attic or a cellar. Us, we were put in a boiler room. When it reached our street, they rounded up the whole caboodle of us to the isolation ward. A boiler room, you say? Was it turned on? Of course. The air was so stuffy in there. I tell you, but there was a silver lining. No sickness can survive that hellfire. Convincing, but I'll still need to examine you. Please undress there behind the screen. Time to do a physical exam. The patient must be examined and their symptoms added to the casebook. Open the casebook. This can also be done during the examination. Okay, so she has fever. How do I... Is there like a place where I can indicate? It's already over there. Fever. Very pale skin. Rarely leaves her home. Not much in the sun. Use the right button to rotate the camera. Chests. Back. Oh, she's got some bruising on her arm. Skin redness. Right, that's some skin redness. Arms. Hematoma. Maybe she bumped into something. Maybe it's a symptom. Should I ask where the bruises came from? Alright, so it's not skin redness. It is actually a bruise. Arms reverse. Okay, show me your legs. Looks like she has some bruising around her ankles, too. .65 BPM. There's not a lot here. Aside from the hematoma, she doesn't have any kind of markings on her skin. Brent. Okay. Believes she is healthy, but feeling well proves nothing on its own. I need to write down the results in my casebook, then discuss them with the patients. 50 in the town, third one at the hospital. The plague runs rampant. I still have to find a vaccine, but for now, only the quarantine protects people. You're done with the exam. Can I go now? Absolutely not. An examination with no questions asked can only happen at a morgue. Told you everything the last time, but if you say so, you're the doctor. Allow me to call my assistant in. I'll use your example to show him how to proceed during an appointment. So, Mr. Little, we have a patient here. She's claiming to be in good health. Despite having had a fever a few days ago, do we take her word for it? If she's had a fever, there must be a reason for it, and we have to find it. Remember this, a patient's self-evaluation may be incorrect. That's why you ask specific questions about the symptoms, about what's come up during the exam, and about the patient's circumstances and daily life. Questions, but how do you connect the answer to a diagnosis? I'll demonstrate. Observe and learn, Mr. Little. I won't be around forever. The patient is running a temperature, in other words, a fever. Open my casebook, look up fever, and tell me how many conditions is it listed as a symptom of? 8 of them. 8 diagnoses fit the bill. It's a frequent symptom, which means that you have to find others and narrow down the search. Then do it again and again until you're left with just one verdict. This, Mr. Little, is what's known as a differential diagnosis. The name is self-explanatory. We differentiate between similar things to find the only correct solution to our problem. I can't wait to give the method a try. Let's get down to it then. You look pale, ma'am. Has your skin been like this since birth, or is this pallor recent? It's not like I get a good look in the mirror a lot, living in a boiler room and all, but I don't think I've ever been pale. Rich do-nothings are pale. Me, I'm a commoner. So pallor isn't typical for you. We're marking that as a symptom. Mr. Little, add pallor to the fever in the record. What do we get? A mere 2 conditions, down from 8. It's like magic. A single symptom, pallor, eliminated 6 out of our 8 candidates. We're left with a choice of just 2. Where did this hematoma come from, my good lady? I mean the bruise over here, next to your wrist. Did you bump into something, or is there someone who batters you? Don't worry, there's nothing to be embarrassed of when seeing a doctor. I'm not embarrassed. A bruise? Well, that's news to me. I've never seen it before. I can't remember anything like what you're talking about. I certainly wasn't beaten up. Must have bumped into something myself and forgotten about it with all the fuss. The boiler room is dark and cramped. That's probably where the bruise is from. Mr. Dankovsky, I'm seeing this hematoma, this fancy bruise on your list. Are you with us, Mr. Little? Pay attention. She doesn't remember how she got the bruise. She can only guess. The manual provides a more detailed description of the illness for a situation like this. What causes it? Who's susceptible, etc. It can give useful clues. When in doubt, read about the condition in detail. Practicing medicine takes more than checking symptoms against a list with a schoolboy's diligence. You have to bring your reasoning into it. Here's one way to do it. Tell me, my good lady, do you garden? Do you grow anything? Anything at all, from roses to cucumbers? Cucumbers, roses. I'm not following you at all, doctor. No, I've never liked digging and shoveling earth and all that. There, earth. Does the boiler room you've been relocated to have an earthen floor by any chance? That's right, it does have an earthen floor. The boiler room isn't really well suited for living in, but in these times I'd be ungrateful to complain. How did you guess, doctor, about the earthen floor? Why does the floor matter of all things? It's simple. All kinds of things can be found in your local soils, including microorganisms capable of disrupting circulation. It's the pallor. The bruises were not caused by trauma. A hematoma appears when blood vessel walls are damaged. either by an external force or, as in this case, an illness. The infection can be contracted from contact with Earth. We found a diagnosis. You're a genius, Mr. Dankovsky. Oh my goodness, you're bona fide brilliant. I like this guy. He's fun. Have you picked up on the logic? What to do, in what order, interview, examination, follow-up, interview. Then you consult the casebook. Bravo to you anyway, you're a true master of medicine. So the patient has the sand pest alongside. What's the other diagnosis? I've talked you through it, you can finish it yourself. The symptoms are fever, pallor, and a bruise. Put them together and you'll get your result. What happens? What about me, doctor? Where am I to go now? What happens next? Thank you for the opportunity to do a very educational physical exam. You can't teach medicine without actual patients. Doesn't actually answer the question. Make a diagnosis. Select all relevant symptoms and choose a diagnosis. Okay, so it was fever, paleness, hematoma. Stone disease, itchy skin. Where's paleness? Coughing up blood, chest pain, and difficulty breathing, stomach pain, hallucinations, headache, hydrophobia, bulimia. Interesting. I want to click on these to just tick them off over here. Slow pulse. Rapid pulse. Paleness. Okay, where is fever? Is it already marked off? Is it this? Anemic vasculopathy? Is that why these have exclamation points next to them? Because these are things you can find over here. I don't see fever anywhere on this list. But it's on this. So, anemic vasculopathy. Final diagnosis. To confirm the diagnosis, hold X. Then you can close the casebook. Boom. Okay. Time to diagnose. All clear here. Off to the next patient. All right, so that was patient number 1. I have to do patient number 2. They are terminally ill and I am terminally exhausted, but studying their intercurrent diseases might lead to a vaccine for the plague. Are you going to burn me? Even if you're going to be burned, I promise you won't be burned alive. No slow, excruciating roasting. Pain-wise, the sandpest is easily worse than a slow roasting, Doctor. You don't want to ever find out. Are you in pain right now, or is your self-control that strong? Mr. Tiny here told me I could be useful to you, before I die, that is. Said you can find something inside me that slows the pest down, so go ahead, find it. What do you need? Do you want to draw some blood from me? Alright then, where did they bring you in from? I walked here, from home. Caught it from my neighbors. Knew as soon as the skin on my chest started peeling away. So I waited a day. The neighbors' screams stopped in the middle of the night. I went to check on them in the morning, and they were all dead. Me, though, I was alive and walking, and now I'm here. Why do you need to know that, Doctor? Any minute detail can reveal something. Let's continue. Do you have a family? All on my lonesome. My, look at those palms. Skinnery worker? I'm a dyer. Been breathing in poisons for 5 years now. One day it's red, the next is blue, then yellow. Could that be why this fever of yours doesn't do me anything? Toxic pigments. It's a possibility. Elevated heartbeats. Okay, where was that? Rapid pulse. Peeling skin, he mentioned unlikely to be the stone disease, most likely eczema. Heartbeats too fast, but that could be a personal trait. Unlikely to be the stone disease. Got some kind of eczema, is what he said. Let's see your arms. His skin has yellowed. Something wrong with the liver. So he's got yellow skin. So nothing here has all three of those symptoms. Yellow skin, eczema, rapid pulse. Have you sorted it out, Doctor? Will it be useful in your studies? Your remedies? My vaccine. It's a vaccine I'm working on. And please allow me a couple of clarifying questions so I can be certain of your diagnosis. It's the plague, of course, the sandpest thing, isn't it? The plague, yes, but there's another condition that's prolonging your life. You said it yourself, your neighbors didn't survive the night, but you are still holding up admirably. Well, blow me down. 2 ailments making me healthier than if I had only 1? But you know best, Doctor. What do you want? To question me, right? Question all you want. You complained that the skin on your chest was peeling. It was here, right? On the very middle. I knew right away my skin turns nasty when you're plagued, right? Eczema, that much is obvious. The symptom can indicate one of 2 diseases. Now to tell them apart. The skin on your foot is yellowing. Liver conditions could cause this. Have you ever noticed anything like that? Yellowing on my foot? That's dye, Doctor. I'm a dyer. A tub spilled once. Here's the burn. It's old, and it's healed over time. It's smaller and paler than before. Yakov? Little. Where is he when he's needed? You should see a symptom disproven. He's always putting all sorts of things into the chart and diagnosing every disease in the world. Is that all? Give me your hand, please. I'll take your pulse. I believe I've noticed your heartbeat behaving erratically. It's too fast. It began running fast not too long ago, Doctor. I can hear it myself, thrashing like it's caught in a snare. Too fast indeed. So what now? It's all clear? Your pulse and the eczema together give a clear picture, yes. Finally. I was afraid I'd just kick the bucket without helping any science. I can pinpoint the diagnosis now. These 2 symptoms make it certain. Oh yeah, they do? It's the burning fever. So he's got the sand plague and the burning fever. This poor guy. Okay. Should have remembered to write down the casebook. Strike out the false symptom, keep the real ones I can diagnose. The verdict pronounced. One last patient remaining today. Let's go to patient number 3. And that's the story of my life in times up to the present moment, but why do you want all those details from me? Half hour's worth of talking, it was all beside the point. I'd be interested to know why the sandpest can't get me, because I certainly find that fact interesting. I'd even say amazing. None of what you told me was beside the point. Everything was important, especially your chicken pox at age 6. You sure you're not overstating my importance, Doc? Right. Ogimsky corked the termitary shut, and you've been guarding it for... is it 6 days? Since Tuesday? This is the 3rd time you're asking me. May I ask why you distrust me so? The termitary is a town within a town. Almost 3,000 workers. What did your authorities fear that made them lock up so many people inside? Who knows? At first they said there'd been a blowout of some kind of sweet soot. It settled on the walls later. It looked like mold. Well, the king was worried. They're like bees in how they respond to things. Soon one of them makes a noise, the rest are unquiet as well. There's a mighty buzz in the hive, perhaps on account of the poisonous soot. Conditions are tough at the cannery, you know? What's going on there now? They're shouting, lots of clamor, and a nasty kind of clamor too. It's what you'd expect. They're not having a great time, stuck in there like pickles in a jar. No regular meals, not enough drink to go around either. The place is, after all, a poorhouse. Our fat man treats his people like cattle. Getting through the day is a struggle. Small wonder they're slamming into walls. If it was up to me... If it were up to you, then what? You can't lock up a living creature against its will. It's how you turn people into proper beasts, but try so much as hinting at that to our own Gimski yes-men. They're dead drunk on power. It used to be all right working with them, but now I can't stand those guardsmen. There are times when you have to put a free creature under lock and key, save for its own safety. Well, you know best, Doctor. Alright, let me ask you this then. What time of day do you feel worse than usual? All the time. I used to be as hardy as a bull wrangler, but now I have trouble even standing up for long. I get drowsy, my knees give out. It's embarrassing. I feel like I'm failing everyone. And is this condition of yours progressing? I don't take a great interest in my own person, Doctor. Got enough people to spend my attention on as it is, but I have trouble doing my job because of this. It's a rugged man's job. Disrobe down to your undergarments, my good guardsman. I'm going to examine you. And since you're so preoccupied with my work as a security guard, here's my advice to you, Doctor. You're being too heavy-handed. This lockdown of yours is making people seethe and cope. And a cauldron can only seethe for so long before the lid flies off, even if you screw it down. Well, since I'm not a great big stack of shiny coins, not everyone is going to like me. Strange redness. A rash? Something else? There are red spots on his face, too. Okay, so he's got some kind of rash. A weakness. Okay. Weakness. That rash is all over his body. The veins are definitely damaged. The question is, how old is the damage? Damaged veins? What would that be under? Bleeding ulcers. Yikes. Vein damage. Is it bradycardia? Who knows? We're about to find out. So I'm guessing this is a case where they're going to teach us that there are times when even if you have all three symptoms that the diagnosis might be wrong if you do it immediately. Notice a symptom that you can ask the patient about. Let's do it. Once more, I need to write the symptoms down, then ask the patient if I understood him correctly. Let me go, will you, Doctor? I don't understand all this commotion about me. What makes me so special? Besides, I've got work to do. Work? I'm sorry, but you're going to have to forget about your work for now. You must remain at the hospital. I used to guard locked up people, and now I've been locked up myself. That's life for you, isn't it? It's the kind of joke life plays. You have no idea how sick I am of the jokes life plays. Oh, I was just musing to myself. What do you want me to do? Do I need to give blood? Maybe take a pill? The weakness you reported accompanies too many different ailments. I must have clarity on the rest of your symptoms. I've told you my entire life story, Doctor, and you still want more? Ask away, then. The veins in your legs don't look very healthy. Have you ever noticed that before? My legs? They're that way from all the time I spend standing up. It's my job as a security guard. 16 hours of standing every day. And Olgimsky won't spare a stool for us to sit down, says it's not the proper way. Bad for discipline. Working as a guard can easily cause a mundane case of varicose veins. On the other hand, at least 3 promising diagnoses on the vaccine front can manifest as vein issues. You're quite lost in thought, Doctor. Am I really that complicated? Can't wrap my head around that little old me being at the center of this brouhaha. There is a symptom that fits the description, but it mostly affects drunks. So I'd like to ask you, good sir, do you consume alcohol? Do you do it on a regular basis? In what quantities? The quantity best described as God forbid. In my line of work, you must be alert, so my basis hasn't been regular since last year. Quite the contrary, I've been abstaining. Can't stand a drinker myself. Are you being honest with me? This is a crucial question, not one to evade. I'm telling you it's not regular. I don't have the habit. Period. I can't in good conscience put my stamp on a diagnosis. I don't have enough information, not without home inspection or neighbors' testimonies. I'm going to your house, sir. My house? Why on earth, Doctor? I can't understand talking to me, feeling me up from head to toe, collecting my blood, but searching my home like I'm some bandit? What did I do wrong? Am I mistaken? Or are you seriously frightened? Are you that reluctant to have me visit your house? You did hide something during the interview, just as I thought. Well, well, well. Not at all what I expected from a man of medicine. Going off to break into my house, imagine that. Where do you live? No, never mind. I expect the orderlies took your address along with your name. He is all the way over there. To understand Falat's illness, I'll have to understand his life. So I have to walk all the way over to the Skinners, looks like. Difficult case, the diagnosis was almost clear, but the patient denied a symptom. Need to visit his home to find out. I'm so sick of it all. 2 patients turned over to the assistant. The third one is a tough nut to crack. A little investigation is needed to clarify his diagnosis. Well, let's get out of there. We have a long way to go, so we might as well get started. I won't draw my gun where no one threatens me. Well, hello there. Ukarne erid by nagi mende erdem. Ama'aka medene ulge kara I ugib. He wishes you many years of life, Erdem. The bulls have vaccinated yesterday. Have you brought them? Shi Yamar Ene Detesh Bishi Bulkana Idine Kanab. What'd you just call me? Ama'aka'a. The bulls were stolen, Erdem. Kalish Terende Bukaniid Ikuod Bekhada Boloko. Really? Thank you. Or maybe your bulls perished, even. Mother Bado knows where. So they have died, or they have been stolen. You're dissembling. Stop it. Bo'o Kara Igi Ka Shanal Kash Erdem. Look, I'll return in an hour, and if they're not here... Somebody stole all your cows, I promise. Time is running out. To exit the district, find... Let's see. To leave the district, find arches with clocks. To exit the district, find arches with clocks. Okay. Plot a route. Select a district name or marker where I want to go. Okay, I want to go there. Oh, it's plotting the route for me. Why do I have to go through the hindquarters to get there? What is with these arches that have clocks on them? So, I mean, it would be really much easier for me to go, like, down this way. But I have to go through the hindquarters to get to the Skinners. Dangerous districts. Dangerous districts require attention. They cannot be traversed using the map. You have to find an arch with a clock that isn't blocked. Is this...
I had a sister once. I recall a girl as little as me when I was little myself.
Why is she here? Listen to me, Bachelor. Please just set our differences aside. They're accusing me of being the Sand Plague itself. But that is probably true, little saint girl. I suspected it from the very beginning. Don't you laugh at me. You know I'm helping you. We're in this together, working towards one goal. We're just different, so we each do it in our own ways, however we can. Clara, you're extremely suspicious, and that's a fact. I'd call you duplicitous even, two-faced. That wasn't me. Not me, but my double, my twin sister I didn't know. I've told you in that Haruspex of yours too. He didn't believe me either for some reason, even though he did see us two together. And yet the plague follows you wherever you go, and that's a fact. It's the other way around. I just feel where the infection will erupt next, and I go there to help. Please, you have to believe me. I'm tired of these ridiculous games. You're a big girl, Clara. It's time to answer for what you've done. If anyone, it's she who's ruining my reputation, my twin sister. She must be here somewhere. Try looking around. You might even be able to catch her. Will you believe me then? No one has ever seen the two of you together. Not even Barack. And neither will I. Plague fog until's danger. Equip the prototype. Hold the left click to charge the prototype. Release after the pendulum stops. Oh. Oh, really? That's kind of nice. The ones lying on the ground cannot be saved, only relieved of suffering. If I help them in their passage from this world, I can take their time for myself. Euthanasia requires the same resources as combating my own mind. A correct dose must be administered. Injected drugs shift the cursor along the gauge. It must land within the highlighted zone before the dying person's heartbeat spikes. Overdosing will amplify suffering, and I must alleviate it. So we want to land this inside of that. Right? So is that 5, 10, 15? Okay, that did not do what I expected it to. Well, they died. The patient died in agony because of me. Whoops. Sorry. So we keep going. I'll zap you. Is that a whirlwind? What is this? What's going on here? Is that a ghost? What? Loots. Take it all. Dude, what are these mechanics? This is so wild.
Can't think like that.
Okay, we're in the Skinners. Bring me another test subject, exactly. We'll figure it out, don't worry. 4 pockets. Consumables can be kept within reach. Interesting. Alright, so we want to use the strychnine. Here they exchange microbes. They're used to bartering, but here they exchange microbes. So instead of...
Damn them.
Is he talking to his beer? So instead of looting things, like Artemy did, he kicks them. Use.
In every shard, a new me.
He just broke that mirror for no reason. That's a million years bad luck, Mr. This is the place. Found it. Oh, kids. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. He has to manage his mental state, which is, I think, a really cool thing. You know, he's got this kind of, like, balance between mania and apathy, which seems very Daniil, but I was not expecting that. It's bad luck, yes.
It was quiet in Thanatica.
Oh, hello. Filat's neighbor. I just mopped that floor, and now you're walking all over it. It took me forever to scrub clean, you know. Apologies, I'm not very good at walking in a handstand. My legs always veer off to the left for some reason. Stop with the clowning, will you? First, he's turning the bathroom upside down. But there are only one for all these apartments. People watch their kids here, and they take their own baths on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They keep it clean. And now there's you with your remarks, but you're a pal of Filat's, aren't you? Filat is in the hospital now. He's under observation. I'm here to find out how he got sick. So Filat's in the hospital. Perhaps that's for the best. Have you been living in the same house for long? Do you know him well? We've known each other since we were kids. He was like a brother to my husband. I helped him out his whole life with cleaning and cooking and whatnot. He was a loner and with no one to take care of him, and it wasn't too much trouble for me. We were neighbors after all, and friends. Doesn't that just sound idyllic? We drifted apart a little as time went on, but he used to always thank me. Then one day it was like, bam, he forgot everything. Never said a word anymore. Scurried past me to his apartment, eyes down, no hello, no goodbye. But he sure showed this bathroom, his boss. So this sort of frenzied rage isn't typical of Filat. He'd never trashed anything before and was well behaved. What kind of person this is typical of is an easy guess. You often get this with drunks. One moment he sits there quietly and then he's delirious all of a sudden. With all this ruckus and mess, at least he didn't punch anyone out. Has he been a drunk for long? Was this his first delirium tremens episode, or has he had them before? He didn't drink before, but go ahead and look out that window. The town's falling to pieces. It's enough to make a saint start drinking. It's like people have gone crazy. Some grabbed the bottle, some grabbed the knife. It's hard to stay human. Everyone's inner beast is looking to break out. So you know for certain that Filat trashed the place in a drunken haze. Or is that just what you are assuming? Well, what do you think happened? He didn't just trash the shared bathroom, he was sick all over it. The whole place was a mess. I thought I'd never get it clean. Do you know what it's like to mop up someone else's vomit? How would a smart dresser like you know that, eh? Oh, damn. I went to medical school, my good lady. The quantity of vomit I used to cart around is more than this entire house could disgorge. Have you figured out everything you needed? I'd like to finish with the cleaning here. The kids from downstairs will be here soon to wash their hands before eating. They'll be better off if they didn't see this mess. Just a minute. Is there anything else you can tell me about Filat? Do you happen to know any illnesses he's had in the past? Chronic or acute? Whatever you can remember. No, that man was never sick. Strong and tough as a cart horse, and I mean, I could easily imagine him pulling an actual cart. That was why they hired him to guard the old Gimski meat cannery back in the day. You two talked more often at that time, right? If you ask me, Filat may be built for the job, but it's not a job for him. The Termitary needs security to make sure the steppe brutes aren't beating him about town. He was getting sentimental about them. That's why he and I fell out. We argued about whether worms and herb brides were our equals. Some security guard. Brutes, you say? Have you considered that someone from the capital might see everybody in a small town like this one as a brute, no matter if it's you or a worm? What a thing to say. Stop trying to confuse me. I don't have time to pick your philosophizing apart anyway. I've got a bathroom to finish cleaning. Filat got into philosophizing too, and it both destroyed our friendship and made him an alcoholic. There's no good in that. Can we go back to his drinking once more? Your delirium hypothesis is logical, but it's still only a conjecture. In fact, his denial of drinking habit sounded very sincere to me. Who wants to confess to something shameful like that? The thing is, lifelong sots are proud of it, and it's the new-made ones who are ashamed. I hope he's ashamed. It's anyone's darn guess if he is. It's like he's become a completely different man. For all I know, he's lost all sense of himself at this point, gone completely off his rocker. Off his rocker? There's something new again. Are you just talking about the bathroom incident, or is there any other evidence that he's off his rocker? He has episodes, you know. Before he trashed the bathroom, I'd hear this muttering coming from behind his door every night. And he lives alone. No family, no one visits him. My husband and I used to be his only friends. He started talking to himself, and that's a sure sign. Why didn't you say that right away? You seem like a smart woman, but even you make getting this information feel like pulling teeth. This changes the picture completely. And you? Why didn't you take your shoes off right away when you walked in? Because you didn't think of it. Neither did I with the muttering. I told you everything now. I have my limits too, you know. Mopping floors is hard enough, but bad-mouthing a former friend is harder. I'm sorry for the poor dummy. Where's Filat's room? I'd like to go take a look before I go after all. It's further down the hallway. Here's the key. I've got work to do. Been breaking my back for half a day here, and whose fault is it? A fool who's also a drunk now. Poor soul. She's like making really certain that we understand that this guy is a drunk. Now I must remember to put hallucinations and vomiting on his record, according to a neighbor. A neighbor claims Filat is a drunkard. He's trashing the house, talking to voices in his head. Okay, vomiting. And hallucinations. So we take off vein damage. Now, vein damage is something that's bradycardia. Something here is still a bit too much. Hello. Sane Bana, Erdem. Oh, this is news. The neighbor told me Filat lived alone. He has a son? Adoptive son? This is a step person. Bishi Kagarga, Bekaranab, you're angry. She Yunde Erebshe? I have no idea what you're saying. Hello, Erdem, I said. Why have you come? Alright. Erdem is what you call scientists, right? I've got nowhere to go. By Galdai, don't kick me out, Erdem. Are you Filat's son? You don't look much like him. Not going back to the Warren. You must be from the Termitary. You're just who I need. You people call it the Termitary. Ada Hamni Hirene. You smell like danger. Woleesh bi alish. Go your own way. You leave now. How can a person's larynx make sounds like these? Are you humming directly with your vocal cords? Leave me alone. So how long have you been here, brave young man? I'll tell you, just let me go. There's a crawl hole out of the warren. A Kai Falat watches it. Help me go around the angry guards. Terra Namaye a Barba. Why didn't you just stay there? Let me guess. Love struck? Or did you break your code of laws? Have you people even got one? Medina Ogie. Hara Ogib. What? A Kai Filat took in, hid, sheltered, so no one sees. No one returns me to the warren. Be Kodo Doho, Bereye, Kurgeheb. Talked quietly. Zilger Nogohon, Yaaja, Shashernib. So no one hears. So hallucinations should be removed from the list of symptoms. Why does this have to be so complicated? Where's the Kai Falat, Ewan Bolahub? Where is he? Finally, some sensible talk. He's in the hospital. He's ill. I'm a doctor. It's possible that he isn't even a guard. Well, it seems like this kid thinks he's a guard. He calls him a Kai Falat. I don't know what that means, but kind of implies that he is. At least works at the Termitary. He's ill. I'm a doctor. I need to find out what he's ill with. Will you help me? I will. Namda Tilekegi Iritaib. A Kai Falat sickens. I saw it. He sickens. Does Filat drink? Vodka, wine, those step herb infusions of yours. At first glance, I can't see a single bottle. Not a drop. Strict on himself. Doesn't allow me either. Kadin Shengi Kato. So the neighbor was mistaken after all. Perhaps she wanted to be mistaken out of spite. The reasons doesn't matter, though. What matters is that he wasn't drinking. His vein problems must indeed be from standing up at work. How else can I help? Save a Kai Falat Erdim. Bishamha Asunab. Stay put. Don't you dare sneak away. I need to look around, and then I'll ask you a bit more in a bit. Alright, so the vein problems are from being a guard and not from being sick. Even rats would be disgusted by this food. I can hear tons of rats in the area, right? Two patients turn over to the assistant. The third one is a tough nut to crack. Okay, that's the diagnosis thing. What's this? No label on the pills. Can't tell what they are from the appearance. Filat took them. Did he know he was sick? So he was taking pills. Wet rags on the bed. Used to put them on his forehead. Does he have fever? Genuinely concerned about Filat, an escapee from the Termitary. Now that you've promised to help me, will you tell me what happened to Filat? I will. Namda Tilegigi Irataib Akai Falat sickens. Alright, let's see. Are you ready, Filat's hallucination? Let's see, I found some pills. What are these? Who is taking them? We don't use these in the steppe. Bibata Bekir Medenegib. Akai Falat said that they are so the head doesn't ache. Another symptom. So he's got headaches. Okay. It occurs with so many different diseases. His head hurt. Tere Zoboho. These rags on the bed look like they were used in a compress. Can I open the book from here? I can't. Find something hot or cold over an injury. Do you know anything about that? I do. Inahain Emnelge. Kai Falat was hot, tossed and turned. I put cold on him, so he had a fever, and didn't mention it during the interview. So he has headaches and a fever. He's much sicker than he claimed to be. Tere Edegehe Gi. I worry for him. What's this mousetrap doing here? Is it just in case, or are there actually mice in this place? Hold on. Kul Gananud. Kedi. Lots of them. Bold. Walk here like it's their home. Mice and rats spread disease. Diagnosis is coming to mind at once, but I need to double check. Townsfolk live in houses, call us beasts. Cleaner in the steppe. Better, they know nothing. 10x on. There's something rotten on the table. Did you eat this? Is this what made Filat vomit? Hungry, we needed. Minge Igi. Akai Falat's not rich. Boss Vlad pays the guards so little, Karo. Was enough for one, not enough for me. Hard to feed too. Akai Falat walked, looked for cheap food. They cheated, sold rottens. Moo, Kinid. Alright, so let's see. I can understand the difficulty of your situation. Filat did eat the rotten stuff. Or did he not? Did he get sick from food poisoning? Now, this is scarier to him. Be-agab. Never thought to eat the rots. Even Akai Falat forbade. Then his hunger came, crazy-like. He les kilen. I grabbed everything, gobbled everything. I took away, hid, told him bad, rotten will hurt. He didn't listen, like possessed by some hungry beast. Sudden hunger. Should I add bulimia to the symptoms? What was it? Headaches, fever, bulimia? Never saw a man wolf bad food like that. Ene zeg tai. So mice, headache, fever, hunger. And the vomiting, fatigue, and skin reddening. The veins are ruled out. What happened in the bathroom? The neighbor says Filat drunkenly. Mice, headache, fever, hunger. Vomiting, fatigue, skin reddening. He doesn't drink. Or he'd eaten bad food, couldn't keep it down. Didn't want to make a mess in here, so he went where he could do it. And there, Jan, water's there for washing. Akai Falat said water scared him. Heard the dripping, went crazy. Can a man be scared of water, Erdem? Jan is life. Hydrophobia. Got scared of water for no apparent reason and trashed the bathroom. This is an extremely rare symptom. Should sort it all out. Okay, well, let's take a look. Okay, we got the key. Things are getting clearer. The boys know hallucination. He's not talking to himself. Now I'm ready to make sense of the symptoms. Time to return to the hospital and prove a hypothesis. Alright, casebook. Vomiting and nausea. No. Hallucinations. No. Weakness. Fever. Headache. Bulimia. He's rabid. He has rabies, possibly. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, hydrophobia is the like. It's a very common symptom of rabies. Headache, hydrophobia, bulimia, rash, weakness. Yeah, I had it right there. Maybe it was tainted water. I think that was it, right? Or there were the rats. Yeah. Yep. It's definitely shaping up. Now I have to go back. Okay, so I go find a gate with a clock that's open. Apparently this gate is closed. Does it matter? Yeah, okay. So can't go that way. So we'll go back to the gate that we used before. To go back to the dangerous area. Navigation in this game is a little bit weirder than the first one. Wait, can I just walk back? Is that possible for me to do? Does it matter? This is saying I can go straight through here. But this is definitely not open. Okay. Right on. Yeah, this poor guy's definitely got rabies. Which is interesting. Does having rabies make you more resistant to the sand pest? I hope those people can find my bulls. We're getting apathetic. We've got to fix this. What is this? Butterfly in a box. A foolish yet beautiful ending for an ugly caterpillar. I have 3 of these. I've got 1 bullet. Not needed for my pocket, debutante. I always keep 1 last bullet in its chamber. My pocket debutante. Not needed. Interesting. Alright, here we go. Back to the haunted area. Oh, it's like water. Alright, here we go. Examination. Boom. Administer. Tranquility. The patient's passageway was swift and painless. I got something from that. I don't know what I got, but I got it.
It's more honest now.
Oh, went the wrong way. So that gate is totally blocked, huh? Yours. Can you swing on the swings? Does that improve your mood? So you just go around and kill them? Yeah, it does something positive for Daniil. I'm not entirely sure what it does yet, but it, like, extends his time, is what they said. You take their time for yourself. Those poor devils are looters. They just kept on coming today. There was a rumor that an out-of-town bandit who was packing firepower happened to getting busy here. Until suddenly he wasn't anymore. Can't shoot the sandpest, you know. But everyone fancies a firearm these days, so they're flocking to this mortal remains like moths to a flame. So townspeople are arming themselves. They're preparing for the worst, by the looks of it. As if this could get any worse. We're managing for now, though these moths had a little ammo on them, and some pilfered odds and ends. One fool had stuffed his knapsack full of tin spoons. Probably never seen real silver in his life. Everything of value has been sent to the town hall. We kept the ammo. Hand over the ammo. Will do. You're dismissed for now. So we have 5 bullets. Tobacco. Tobacco.
Think.
Tobacco.
Think.
Tobacco. More tobacco. We're trying to get as manic as possible. Tobacco. Hey, the cows are back. They found them. Sinigd of good life to you, Erdem. Here are your bulls, Bekara. Are you still not glad to have them? Where are those Odange of yours? The ones that came this morning. I remember sending them to fetch the bulls. You've insulted them. The worms don't want to deal with you anymore. Yeah, he's just... Got it. Smoke some more cigarettes. The worms believe you're a bad man. A churlish, ungrateful man. Me keen. Me. What? The bull's talking to me. This can't be done without Barak after all. Are you going to take our bull's blood? I need to make today's vaccine first. After that, I'll get on with the universal one. Yeah, that's how they dress around here. The locals aren't even turning their heads. Can I get a good look at this bull? Bulls, finally. The locals all but worship them, or do they actually worship them? Negotiating an experiment with bulls proved to be quite a feat.
Why so jittery, Dankovsky?
Yeah, Dankovsky, why are you so jittery? Talk. Finally, I've been waiting for you, Dr. Dankovsky. As you can see, I've allowed our volunteer orderlies to leave on a break, but they'll all return as soon as you give the word. Good. Rest is necessary. Let them have a smoke, visit their families. Who knows, they might not get another chance. Consider it done. But what of the third patient, Filat? Filat, the termitary guard. Do you have a diagnosis? I haven't put him to sleep yet. I thought he might be useful to you again. I visited his place in the Skinners, had a look around, spoke to neighbors and someone else. I understand his illness. Just be sure to put it in a document and stamp it, too. Mr. Little, I barely recognize you. Are you going to teach me how to maintain patient records now? Here you are. What took you so long, Doctor? Did my mice detain you? I met a mouse in the apartment. A huge one, the size of a teenage boy. You wouldn't happen to know how it crawled from the cellar. So you met him. I tried to protect him with everything I had. I went to your hospital so he wouldn't catch it from me. And then you lied. You described fatigue, but you'd been nauseous, feverish, and much more. I've never been a good liar. If I told you too much, you'd know that someone was changing my bandages, that I needed money to feed 2 mouths, so I talked as little as I could. Regardless, I found out. Nothing to hide now. Sure, I led the boy through a hidden passage away from the slaughterhouse. He's just a kid, Doctor. It was hardship that brought him to the cannery. And just like that, Fat Vlad put him to work. Young or old, doesn't matter to the Olgimskis. They sent everyone to the factory. This is of little interest to me. You disobeyed orders. I'd tell your superiors that the vaccine weren't so important. I'm no hero, but I was taught to draw the line somewhere. I treat people like people, period. I've done what I could. So you're saying you'd let more people out if you had authority in such decisions? They'll starve people to death in the termitary. And not just there either. While you were out, I've overheard people in the hospital. Aren't you the tyrant who ordered a quarantine? I'm a tyrant. You're a rebel. And no one will be able to tell the difference in the morgue. Those are dangerous games you play, Doctor. I'm not the only one who doesn't like restrictions. Today, people endure. Tomorrow, too. But in the days that follow, they'll erupt. I told you, you can't humiliate a living being without suffering consequences, and this imprisonment humiliates the town a second time. You try to shame me as if the quarantine were some whim I had. If only we had another way. This won't end well, I tell you. Neither of us can tell the future. And Filat, I came to talk about your diagnosis. Drink this glass of water, please, before we continue. Take that away. I can't stand hearing this sloshing. Get it away, Doctor. Stop backing up or you'll overturn the equipment drawer. Oh, look, I put it away. It's gone now. Add the symptoms to the case book. Is there actually rabies in here? Consumption. Hepatitis. Step dryness, stone skin. Alright, so I'm assuming it's just this. Nephropathia epidemica. These, I think, were the symptoms that actually stood out. Rash, weakness, bulimia, fever, headache, hydrophobia. Alright, so maybe not the rash? Yes, the rash. Whatever. The rash doesn't matter. Headache, hydrophobia, bulimia, fever, headache. Where's fever? I want to make sure I put that in there. Oh, that's right. Fever wasn't on here. Okay. Delete weakness? Yeah, I think it was the same thing. Let's see, weakness. Take that out. Yeah, I don't think that actually changed the diagnosis. But it is a symptom. Like, he wrote it over here. Right? These are the things that are actually true. Weakness, bulimia, fever, headache. Hydrophobia is not on there, but yeah, either way. I think it's the same thing. Guess we'll find out. Let's see. Hey, Gigole, thank you for the raid. Welcome, folks. Hello, everybody. If this is your first time here, I am the Sharply Dressed Man, and we're playing some Pathologic 3 Quarantine. This is the prologue to the full Pathologic release. It was just released today. Free to play on Steam. You can pick it up, too, if you want, for no cost. How is your broadcast? Welcome, everybody. We are playing Daniil Dankovsky, Bachelor of Medicine, attempting to diagnose the diseases of the people in the town. It's pretty cool so far. We just got finished investigating this patient that came in, claiming to be sick with a bunch of different symptoms that we then went back to his house and verified were like half not true. Had a good stream? Nice. Let's see. Anamnesis collected. For the last outside to make the diagnosis. Last one for today. Finally, all that remains is to order the vaccine to be made. If I identified the patient's diagnoses correctly, the vaccine will help hundreds. If I'm wrong, their blood is on my hands. Resentment for the quarantine measures will soon reach its peak. When it does, the town will no longer obey the decrees issued to save it. Zero education, dozens of opinions. A man of the people in the worst sense, though I have to admit I'm not always fair to him. I've checked the records. You've diagnosed all 3 of the oddities who didn't quickly die from the plague. You're a mental giant. A luminary. Yes. Yes, tell me more about myself and how great I am. I've asked you before, Mr. Little. Stop with the sycophantic theatrics. I'm doing what I must. We awaited your verdict with bated breath. What next? The vaccine? Searching the town for more people with the same symptoms as today's 3? Only choose those with a perfectly clear diagnosis, late stages, pronounced symptoms, or you'll make every mistake. Consider it done. And after that, how much culture should we take? What temperature should we heat it to? Reduce my prior instruction by 1.5 degrees. Don't add too much water. We need the culture medium. Follow the dilution charts. We've gotten it down in the last 2 nights. We'll manage without supervision, I promise. Rest without fear that we'd ever disgrace you. So, Dr. Dankovsky, sir, do you give us permission to proceed? Shall we start? If we don't vaccinate anyone tonight, there will be 300 deaths. 5 if we do and my work has errors. This is so damn difficult every time. What's going on? I couldn't hear you. Do we begin or not? Go ahead. I will actually leave now. Get some rest before another day just as gruesome. Okay, well, let's find out whether or not we made the right choices by how many people die in the middle of the night. I've done all I can today. Time to go back home to my headquarters. Back home to Eva. To Eva. All diagnoses were correct. The assistants are preparing today's vaccine, which will delay the town's something by another day. Who are these guys? You've done all you could, Senor. Go on and rest. They wait for you at the Stillwater. Why are you in charge of deciding if I've done all I could? Your vaccine will be ready only on the morrow. And would it even free your heart from its torment? What else are you to do? I could do what I came here for. Get to Simon Kane at last. Even my own hallucinations don't need me anymore. That's great. Even my own hallucinations don't need me anymore. We saved hundreds of people with the correct diagnoses, chats. We are brilliant, mental giant, a luminary. Do I have to walk through the gut to get to the Stillwater? I mean, I could just walk this way, right? I hope I could just... I hope I don't have to actually walk through all the way through an infected district to get to the place I need to go. The gate is closed. They do kind of, like... They do make you do that. He's very modest. Oh yeah. Yes. He doesn't appear to have as much stamina as Artemy did. Camphor. More camphor. More camphor. Just chug it. Chug all of it. Smoke a cigarette. Smoke another cigarette.
Thoughts. More thoughts.
Doctor, we're rotating. Leaving, that is. Abandoning, our posts. Indeed, is this an ultimatum? Well, we didn't sign up for this. They've gone and armed themselves. Not petty thieves. No, these are proper... What's the word? Thugs. They shoot, Doctor. They stab. It's really unheard of around here, raising a knife against your fellow man. And we're unarmed. It's fine. I'm armed. You're saying you've got it in you to kill another living, breathing person? No one will attack me. I'm a doctor. Doctor, you're looking at today from the... What's the word? Lens of yesterday. We weren't afraid then, either. Lots of people trying to get inside plague districts like this one. Thing is, yesterday they weren't shooting, they weren't stabbing. Today is, as they say, a whole different beast. They had humanity. And now, they really don't. They lost their humanity in exaggeration. Remain at your post. I'm afraid not, Doctor. We're volunteers who took no oath. Fair enough, you took no oath. But you'll truly abandon the town to such a fate. Not letting thieves in and sick out fine. Putting yourself in front of a bullet or a blade, well, to say it again, that's a whole different beast. The fact you've brought us to this state is, thought-provoking. Again, really unheard of. And on that note, as they say, we take our leave. As they say. I brought you to this state? How? Pray tell me. This is an emergency, not a carnival. Poof, and they disappear. I'm dead tired, back to the still water. I'm always a little alive there. Even when worked to death at the hospital, I even breathe easier. Not everyone in town is content with the epidemic measures. This district is rebelling. I need to be careful.
Keep quiet in the library.
I'll be going now. Gotta keep my eye on this guy.
Come back. There he is.
Empty.
While apathy is high, time itself, the will to live, and amalgam slip through my fingers. Without amalgam, other days of the story become inaccessible. So his apathy has gone up, which means we need to use some strychnine.
Weird, but tolerable.
Be quiet, you lot.
Put him up. Keep him up. I'll be going.
Come here. There he is.
There he is. Keep him up. So you're just gonna chase me the entire way, huh? He's just gonna chase me until I get all the way through here. Stick him up.
Hey, you. Come over here.
Said keep him up, buddy.
Hold it. Got you.
This is pretty cool. We made it. We shot somebody, but we made it.
Migraine. Yes, this is a migraine.
Daniil is so much more finicky than Artemy is. His mental condition is just so difficult to maintain. It's actually really funny. Honey, I'm home. The loyal Eva awaits to share an evening conversation with me, and she's not alone. When did our talks become a part of Bachelor Denkovsky? Loot. Take all, thank you. Mix the medicine. Analyze items, unavailable in the demo. Mix the medicine, also unavailable in the demo. Hey, it's Eva. I just like power. What?
I just knew you'd come.
You're back and just in time. No, a mob is slowly gathering outside the house. I didn't see anyone. I did. They peer into the windows. They're planning something. Deliberating. Sometimes they carry torches and sometimes stakes. I think they're up to wickedness. Shenanigans. Chicanery, even. You often see what isn't there, Eva, don't you? If you decide to go out and check after all, please take me with you. There's no need, I won't be there long. Wait, let's talk a little first, like we always do. You said it yourself yesterday, when you're talking to me, it's like talking to a cat. It's the only way to sort your thoughts. You must have brought so many new thoughts with you. Tell me. No, Eva, I was wrong then. You're not a cat. I'm sorry for that arrogant thing I said. I've changed now. Will you tell me? You see. Well, first of all, it's clear the sand pest can't be defeated by ordinary means. We are so short on time. Creating a vaccine takes weeks, and I don't even have days, which means we must do something different, but what? How do we find an opening? You believed Simon would help you if you found out where he was. Simon. I sense he's behind it all. His disappearance, the missing body, the huge coffin in an empty grave, the notes supposedly written by him. It all makes you think. Either this is some kind of conspiracy or he's playing a murky game with me. I must find him. Keep talking. I'm human. I'm an intelligent, industrious, courageous human. A good specimen. One of the finest. And still I have too many limitations. Solving these problems takes something greater. A stream, if you will, instead of a point. I must pass through several apertures at once. Go on, keep talking, I understand. Wait, what's that noise outside? I told you, there are people and they're scaring me. But our conversation is more important. It will never happen again. It will. I remember where we left off. Okay. Eva believes some strangers have wandered into our yard. I better go out and take a look. It's already 9 o'clock. Where's the exit? Whoa! Whoa! Tar and feather him, smear him with brimstone, and put his head on a spike. Is this a reference to the original Pathologic intro? I don't know. But there are definitely people outside and they want to kill Artemy, or Daniil. They want to kill Daniil. Tar and feather him. Okay, yep. They're setting fire to the house. That seems really bad.
A pinewood house. A knife of brass. A friend in words. These are all glass.
You talking about the reference to Simon? Kane? It's so hard on you, poor thing. Look, some of your hair has turned gray in the past days. You're a learned man, why does it do that? Can someone's hair really gray so suddenly? Hold on, Eva, we're in danger. Let's drop this idle talk. See, I told you so. That talk remains in the past, and it won't happen again. What's happening out there? What do they want? I made one mistake. Just one? What mistake? Now you're making fun of me? Tell me, what was it? Did you make this mistake in the past? Yes. You see, I was trying to tune down the panic and stop the infection from spreading, so I issued some harsh decrees on quarantine measures. I told everyone to stay home. No talking, no sneaking out. Not everyone found this enjoyable. But it was the right thing to do. It all piled up rather unfortunately. Your regular supply train run was running late, and the quarantine was very sudden. Many people lacked necessities. Food, medicine, water, and much more. The town became a rat trap, and a corner to rats. Without food or water. I've thought it all through. I'll revoke the decree. Right now, it won't get any worse. No one complied with it anyway. It just led to exasperation, no sanitary measures. There's no authority here, just anarchy and chaos. To hell with it. I'm revoking the decree this instant. Is it not too late? I guess we'll see. I'm coming upstairs. Oh, a boy came here recently. Agitated, angry, carrying some papers. I gave him bread and dried apples. He's upstairs by the table you sign all your papers at. Yes, I know, that's Sticky, the town's messenger. Nimble kid. Sticky's here, huh? So everyone wants to kill Daniil. The morons refuse to see that quarantine is necessary for their own survival. I'll have to repeal it for today lest rioters butcher me. Emergency command desk. What's this?
Drilling my temples.
Every Joker's one joke away from being a goner.
So they made a bunch of decrees about the town. Like there weren't enough already. Told me to bring them to you for approval. Who came up with these? You'll have to ask the higher-ups. I just bring you what I'm given. You decree we carry it out instantly. You got full authority 2 days ago, didn't you? So use it. We'll obey. As far as I'm concerned, roosters do the crowing, and who cares if the sun doesn't rise? Instantly. If you say so. Up to 3 decrees can be issued per day. Issued decrees can apply to any available day, not just the current one. So how do I issue a decree? Desk. Bad decree. The enacted decree is causing problems. Select and remove it using Z. Okay, so the contagion is the blue line, and the unrest is the red line. Change decree. Round-the-clock operations allow night shifts at the Olgimsky factory. 300 rations and 100 equipments. Minus 10 patrolmen. Prohibit dying. You're just... That seems... We should just do that decree the entire time. Just, you cannot... You are not allowed to die. That's it. No dying. Burn out the infection. Burn down houses where signs of infection have been identified. Arrest the instigators of the anti-vaccine riot. Suppress the further spread of such sentiment. Minus 20 contagion plus 20 unrest. Pest control. Systematically exterminate all small rodents, insect pests, and other vile scum from the town. Uses 150 fuel. Let's do this one. And this one. Oh, I guess we don't want to do one. Day 6. No dying. No dying on day 6. Day 7. So pest control is what we were doing that caused unrest. Minus 35 contagion. Focus of infection eliminated. What does that mean? Oh, I can do... Ah, there we go. So we're gonna do... Plus 900 unrest? So the quarantine is what people don't like. Minus 45 contagion plus 900 unrest. Yikes, dude. That's wild. I feel like this one makes sense. Minus 150 fuel, but we only gain 5 unrest. Systematically exterminates all little guys. And that blue line does not move at all. You see that? It's just, it's so hard to shift that down. Prohibit dying. Round up. So the quarantine is basically, you can't do that anymore. I like it. This is cool. This is like city management, this is a very different perspective than what you saw in Pathologic 2. Pathologic 2 is like super focused on the high respects and the rest of the people in the town. And why is Khan here? My decrees are executed promptly. The quarantine is lifted. I need to go out and make sure the rioters are no longer a threat.
This tower is a gift from Mother.
Remember our request. There are 500 kids at the polyhedron right now. 522 to be precise, not counting me. The tower supports our weight just fine. Don't order the evacuation. It must not happen. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in the polyhedron. You lifted the quarantine, and I think we agreed you'd stop calling me kid. I just signed the decree. The ink hasn't even dried. You're living in some special timeline of your own, Dr. Dankowski. For all I know, it might have taken you a fairly long time to sign the decree. In the meantime, the weather has turned fair, and the quarantine is nothing but a memory. Go outside and see what you have wrought. I'll go have a look. My decrees aren't usually as popular in your town. Let's go see what we have wrought. Chat. No dying today. Why are my hit points so low? Oh, because I got burned by the... by the fire. Health plus 100. Oh, fully healed. What is that thing, and why is it right there in front of me? They call her the Shabneck. Without the quarantine, the plague has come to my doorstep. Damned if I do. What are you telling me, noseless one? What the hell?
You fear me because you fear an end to your loneliness.
Hello, Doctor. Thank you for clearing the way for me. I just wanted to fix my mistake with the quarantine. And I'm neither your friend nor ally, you damn thing. You're not. You're just a smart fellow who finally understood that I'm a blessing, not a curse. That Simon of yours figured it out long ago, by the way. That's why he allowed me into the town. That's why he took my communion. Is that why he died? Oh, Bachelor, he hasn't died. You're just looking in the wrong direction. He excluded time from the world and thus became immortal. He's dying, sickening, living, rotting, thriving all at once. He found a way. Just a minute. Give me some time to think. I can wait. I have time aplenty. An infinite amount. You say he's excluded time from the world? So I'll just include it back. Where's the nearest clock? There's no more use for sundials. Any sundials, anywhere. I've defeated the sun. I'll find a mechanical clock. I've figured out how to fight you. I understand it now. Not just you either. Everything. Why is everything shaking? No good decisions. Today I choose either death at the hands of riding plebs or plague in Eva's lungs. No hope. If only I'd chosen differently 2 days ago. The past shadows over the future. I need to find a mechanical clock and restart time. Sounds easy. Easier than anything I did in this town. Alright, shall we have to restart time? Eva, where's your clock? Quickly! There's one upstairs, right? Tragedian. What troubles you, senor? Your day is over. It's not just the illness, it's the chaos. As soon as I've contained the plague, the town erupts into rioting. How do I work in every dimension at once? There's not enough of me. A mire indeed, so let it not your grave become. It may be best to cry surrender. At least you've held on to humanity. A feeble joy, though, that may be to you. You can but do the things that can be done. No more. Accept your fate as it so stands. There still can be victory in this. Hello, Whitehell Days. No, I think there is a solution. It just hides somewhere unusual. Is that a clock behind you? Is time itself your quarry now? Would you repair the past? Can such a thing be done? Seigneur, you know the literature on this. A flap of wings hither, a storm thither, though that one tale is yet unwritten. No, I will just learn a different mode of thinking. Bend this straight line. Tomorrow will be yesterday. Start with myself as usual, and then we'll see. Well said. But I knew you not to be a Berkelian. Berkelian? I just feel sorry for Eva. Or rather, sorry about her. Then lay your head and sleep. Or will you stare into the clock's face as if it were a stereogram? A sacred icon? Perhaps it shall become what it is not. I'll just recall what happened 2 days ago. See the past. This is my bed, huh?
Stop staring at me. Push over.
Another day. Telling a story requires time. Time is an embodiment, is embodied in amalgam. I'll consume it when trying to recall another day. A new day brings new memories. Select a day to explore. So we're gonna go to 2 days ago, so day 3. What is happening? That's only the beginning. That was freaking crazy. This game is so different than the second one. That was a lot of fun though. The you know, diagnosing people in the hospital, running around the town. It's like it's much different. It's set in the same place, but it plays so much differently than Pathologic 2. Very cool. Can't wait for the full release. Yeah, released today. This prologue bit here released today. So it's, like I said, it's free on Steam. You can check it out too. Same in Pathologic 1. Yeah. Yeah, Pathologic 1 is completely different too. 3 ways, 3 characters, 3 different points of view. See, now I have to go back and play that game. And do all 3 playthroughs of Pathologic 1 just to see all the different ways that that game turns out. Because you can play Clara in that game. You get to play all 3, actually. The Haruspex, the Bachelor, and the Changeling. Day 3 in which the bell tolls. Wait, we're still going?
God keeps the moon from the wolves.
It's still going. I thought it was done. It's a major time investment? Yeah. I was thinking the other day, like, they basically remade the first game's Haruspex playthrough in Pathologic 2. And my hypothesis at the time was they forgot how much content there was in the first game, and they're like, man, we can't stuff all this into a single game, so we have to break it up into 3 different games now. Yeah, the graphics are kind of, I mean, it's 2005. Even if you get the remastered one, it's not that fantastic, but the gameplay is still pretty solid. It's the storytelling that I'm more interested in. Good morning to our guest, Dr. Dankovsky from the Capitol. Did you sleep comfortably? Tossed and turned all night. Confess, did you put a hard pee under the mattress, Eva? I dreamt that I could fly, or rather, tried to, and though I did succeed, mine was a strange flight, at no great altitude and horizontal. Less of a flight than a swift glide above the ground, atop an unseen moving pillar. But I was yearning for an upward soar, somewhere vertical. And you, what did you dream of? The usual. An empty street at night, lined with 4 lamps and at its end a brick house. I walk towards the house and cannot reach it. Your face is very weary. 30, aren't you? I'd say you look much older than your years. I like that you have no gray hair. It's coal black. Not raven, that's a different shade from yours, and not a single gray one yet. So in 2 days he goes gray? I may be gray-haired soon as things unfold. That day's inexorably getting closer. You have a troubled day ahead of you. Will you be back tonight? I'll be waiting. Let's see. I don't have options, do I? I shall leave my travel bag here. I think you'll be in great need of a listener after the kind of day you'll have today. I'm not being dramatic. I'm just saying a flurry of events awaits you, many of which will stump you. The wise at nightfall rue the day. We'll see. So, why is Eva in my bedroom? Okay, that was the end. That was it. Yeah, I have Pathologic 1. I played the game up until day 6, Bachelor side. Didn't make it past that. My first, like, foray into the game, I had no idea what to do. And eventually I think I got myself into a position where I couldn't really progress any further, and I just decided to put it down for a while. And then when I saw that they made a sequel, I thought, hey, that sounds like a great time to pick it back up. Alright. Still have about another 40 minutes in the stream, so let's go ahead and switch over to Monster Hunter and play some more of that tonight. Yeah, that's the Pathologic 3 prologue. For those of you that are wondering. Fun little game. Really like that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for the night. I'm gonna go ahead and get some extra sleep. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna put Monster Hunter, that's gonna be on Wednesday. Tonight, Pathologic 3 Quarantine. It seems pretty good. I'm gonna go get some rest, and I'll see you all in a couple days. Alright, folks. Thank you for joining me. Had a great time. Playing some Pathologic 3. We got, so there are 14 achievements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 of them. Die of Apathy. Here are the ones we did not get. Die of Apathy. Listen to the gramophones behind the scenes. Be reminded once again that you're denied entrance to the abattoir. That's just... you have to, like, try to get into it when you walk past it. Talk to all the protagonists. Read Isidore's letter. Oh, what? Select more than 8 symptoms at once. The name of that one is Don't Worry, I Have a Degree. Die in Extreme Mania. Use or examine all of the Bachelor's tools. Interesting. Got it. Thank you for the compliment, White Holidays. Appreciate that. Yeah. Alright, so folks, if you enjoyed what you saw tonight, don't forget to follow the broadcast here on Twitch or subscribe over on YouTube. I would love to see you all here again next time. That's in a couple days. Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. I will be playing some more Monster Hunter Wilds. This will be night number 2. We're playing Dual Blades. We just got started. We're like 4 hours into the game. So everyone else is monster high rank 137. I am level 1. Just getting started. So there you go. Brand new POV. And that's it. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. Have a great Tuesday. See you all in a couple days' time, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Good night, folks. Take care.